The Layout section of the View layer is the most noticeable. This is the presentation layer you are displaying for the users. The layout does not include the views which are generated from your controller actions. The contents of the layout file will contain the actual HTML head and body tags. The layout basically wraps around the views. Here's a simple display of the concept. I have a layout and my view resides within the layout. As you can see, the layout basically wraps around the view. The location of the layouts is in the app view directory in a folder named Layouts. This folder and the contents inside of this folder are created when you create a new CakePHP website. The current layout we have for our CakePHP site is the default layout. It is located inside that layout folder in the app view directory, and it's called default.ctp. CTP for Cake Template. If we wanted to create a new layout, we would give it a name fitting to the type of layout we are creating. For example, if we wanted a special layout for our home page, we would name the file home.ctp and place it in the Layouts folder. Each layout contains a content block. In the layout file, you would call the content block by stating this, fetch, and passing a parameter of content. As a side note, content is a reserved word. It is used specifically to render content from views into the layout. To understand this concept a little better, I have a layout here, and inside my layout I have the following code, this, fetch, and then content as the parameter. And I also have a view. When the full page is rendered, all the rendering HTML from the view template will in essence be put into that fetch block. Now we can place this content block anywhere in the layout, but since it is rendering views, it would likely be placed in the main section of the layout template. For our layout, we can have a single title for the entire site, or we can set the title of the site on a page basis. We would use a specific variable in the action controller or in the view template itself. The variable name is title_for_layout. An example of using this would be this, set, and the name of our variable, which is title_for_layout, and our second parameter is the value of our variable that we are setting. A new layout is of no use if we don't have the proper CSS to style it. Styles and images can be added to the site. They are located in an area we haven't really explored yet, the web root folder. Inside that directory, you can find a CSS folder and an IMG folder for your images. To link a CSS file on a template page, you would use the following helper, this, HTML, CSS, and then pass in as a parameter the name of the style sheet. There's no need to add the file extension .css. You can call this helper in the layout template or in the view template. If you call it in the view template, there's a couple more parameters that we'll need to pass in, but we're going to cover that later in this module when we discuss the helpers. If your layout or any of your views need images, you can display an image with the following code, this, HTML, image, and then pass in as a parameter the name of the image that you would like displayed, including the file extension. This call can be used in any view template or layout. There's other parameters that we can pass in with this HTML helper, but we'll cover that more in depth later in this module. For most sites, one layout is not enough. On a normal visit to your website, you might need a few layouts to handle different scenarios, such as a promotion or a sign-up form, or perhaps a different homepage. And in some instances, you might have a separate layout for the blog portion of your site. Whatever the reason may be, you can switch your layout by changing the layout variable. This variable can be set in the controller or in the view template file. And in order to do this, you would use this layout and then set it to the actual layout name that you would like to use. By default, the default theme is used when no layout variable is set. Now that we have an understanding of implementing a layout in CakePHP, let's go and spruce up our catalog site.